so lonely. If you leave me, let me down slowly. Let me down.
What would you do if you find out a person that you thought was out of your league has a crush on you? There's something wrong in the Matrix.
Like a glitch?
Nah, it would have to be a complete server crash for this event to happen.
It would boost my self-confidence by 150 and I'd try to make the relationship work. I'd most likely find a way to screw it up, but I think it would be a win-win whatever the outcome.
Me trying to figure out how much is 150 of 0.
It's 0. Not great odds. But I say go for it.
Like they say, you miss 100 of the shots you take.
Happened to me. Found her staring at me multiple times. She sent me all the signals. It was probably the first time in my life that I really detected these signals. When the reality of it hit me, I took a deep breath, actually multiple deep breaths, and decided to go for it. I called her and asked her out on a date. We were together for a year. I miss her. If I find out another such girl has a crush on me and I like her too, I'm going to ask her out.
Can I ask why did you broke up?
Very different career paths meant we would always be in different towns, far from each other. We realized this some months after she moved to one such town.
I'm so sorry. I went through something similar, and even though it sucks, I'm glad I was able to find the real connection with someone and hold out hope that I will find it again. You will too.
My paranoia would convince me that she's just pretending to be interested to exploit me somehow.
As someone who's been in a relationship with a girl way out of my league for 3 months, I still have this feeling. Half of me thinks she genuinely loves me, and the other half of me thinks she's either trying to gain something from me, or she's too nice to tell me she doesn't love me at all.
Is it a prank? Is she playing the long con? Which next meetup will be the reveal? Are they all laughing behind my back? Oh, he doesn't know laugh out loud.
This is my exact train of thought whenever I'm out with friends. It would also be the same if I ever had a girlfriend, even if I so much as imagine it. That scenario always comes to play. But it's really cool seeing people who understand how I feel when it comes to this sort of thing. It feels like a weight has been lifted and I didn't even need to say anything. Way more therapeutic than any therapy I've been to.
I'd wonder why they have such low standards. I'd be far too shy to talk to them still though.
You shouldn't be so hard on yourself by saying they'd have the low standards for liking you. I'm sure you're much better than you give yourself credit for.
Thank you, kind stranger. Confidence had always been an issue for me and I don't really know how to deal with it.
I know how you feel. Until not too long ago I had a lot of trouble with my confidence too, still kinda do. My advice is just learning to recognize your best traits, replace those thoughts of they have to have low standards to like me, to more positive thoughts. It's certainly not easy to do and it takes time, but trust me, it's worth it.
I could totally see that actually working. Yeah, I definitely agree, it's a mental battle with yourself, which is probably why it's so hard for people. Thanks.
No problem. I wish you luck with the battle. Just remember that you truly are better than what you think you are, less than 3.
What a swell comment. I wish there were more people like you on the internet. It happened to me 3 times. 3 times I messed up.
What happened and how did you mess up?
The first time, she was my friend, so when I knew it, I feel afraid of lose her friendship. Then I start to keep distance. At the end we wasn't even friends, and time later, I saw her in a party. We both was drunk, and she come to me and say I was the love of your life, but you are so stupid.
What about the other 2 times?
She was my friend, so when I discovered her feelings for me, I was afraid to lose our friendship. In turn, I kept my distance and we soon drifted apart. Sometime later, I saw her at a party. While intoxicated, she told me that I was the love of her life, but I was too stupid to recognize it.
Good bot.
Not actually a bot, but I wish Lamau.
I've read enough manga to prepare me on this scenario.
Yes, so let's hope she isn't the childhood friend. The childhood friend never wins.
But I thought the childhood friend always wins? Either that or the tsundere. And a tsundere won't tell you she has a crush on you. She will just try to punch it into your brain.
If we are talking about your typical harem plot, if the girl was in the first scene of the first episode, she will lose to the girl who gets introduced later in the episode.
RIP May or A2 replies and no one spelled Twitter correctly SMHMH.
Every healthy relationship I've ever seen was just two people who felt like the other one was completely out of their league, and always consider themselves lucky every day that the other person wants to be with them. Nobody dates someone they think they're too good for. So it's much more important to really just take the time and get to know that person. Find what interests you share, what hobbies you can do together, and what it is about their personality that complements your own. I think if it happened to me, all I'd want is to just find out who they are as a person, find out what they want in life, and let it go from there without trying to psych myself out so much that I don't enjoy just being with them.
I'm so happy about this comment. I totally agree with everything here. Before me and my girlfriend got together, we were best friends for a year. She knew I had a crush on her for about 6 months, and when we finally got to the point where we were being honest, she was surprised that I was so persistent in wanting her since she thought that I could do better. That was one of the most endearing moments of my life, since I realized that we both were as grateful that this relationship was becoming a reality.
Cute.
Beep it up somehow.
Same here, I know I'd beep it right up.
Please elaborate.
Thinking someone is too good for you will always give you this back of your mind thought that you have to do something to be worthy of them, and you overthink it, never really accepting or even acknowledge that they like you as you are. Most likely by the time I realize it, I've already stopped doing the things she likes about me, because what she sees as cute or attractive quirks I see as my weakness. Then she stops liking me cause I f***ed up. Edit. Didn't expect my highest voted post would be how I fell with women. Edit 2. I hope I was able to reply to everyone. Not sure if the advice I've given will fit your life, but I only can speak for what I've dealt with.
Do yourself a favor and go check out one of those threads on askreddit where people are talking about what atypical things attracts them to the opposite sex. You would be really surprised to know things that you are incredibly self-conscious about might really jive with the right person. Realizing that it's fairly common to be attracted to things outside the standard norm might do you some good in relationships. If ladies outside of your league are into you, then you've got something going for you. Embrace it. Love it. Live it.
Marry her. Guy that married the girl way out of his league that had a crush on him.
Good for her.
Wouldn't it be good for him? He is the poor sap in the bronze leagues, while she's in the diamonds.
Good for both of them, since they're probably both happy with it if they got married.
Good for their kids, they'll turn out somewhere in between 2 and a 10.
I do absolutely nothing. I've got 28 years of experience in doing nothing and then regretting it.
The only winning move is not to play.
I feel ya. I'm 29 and it's been less than a month since I experienced my first and only kiss. One would think I'd be happy about it since I had a massive crush on this girl. But I find myself almost regretting it because now I've finally received confirmation that the only way I could have someone's affection would be if they pity me.
I would question my judgment and their judgment.
I don't want to belong to any club that would have me as one of its members.
I actually had this happen in my sophomore year of hip school. I consider myself exceedingly average, and this girl was strikingly gorgeous. Well, one day in science class we got put together on a group project and we seemed to get along pretty well. So after a few days of talking a little more in class, I didn't have her number. I asked her out as a spur of the moment thing. Guess what she immediately said? Nope, and pretty much ran away. It wasn't until several weeks later where she came up to me at the end of the school day and nervously, while blushing madly, handed me a slip of paper with her number on it. Apparently she was actually really into me, but was too nervous to say yes when I asked her out. She and I went out for 4 or 5 months. Eventually she broke up with me because even after all that time I was too nervous to make a serious move. We had kissed like once, and it was a small one. So yeah, my answer is the same as everybody else's on here. I beeped it up XD.
Quote, dated for 4 or 5 months. One small kiss. Yeah, beep high school.
I am currently dating someone who I firmly believe is out of my league in the looks department, mostly because I'm overweight. Unsurprisingly, I overthought this to the point that I had a rather embarrassing outburst. I explained that I've been hurt so many times. I've dated men who were ashamed of me, called me ugly after sleeping with me, who wanted to keep me a secret, and it makes me feel really insecure in new relationships. He just stared at me, blinking, and after about 30 seconds said, "But if they're not attracted to you, then why did they want to sleep with you?" Anyways, society conditions us in really weird ways, and we don't often think critically about the impact this has on our everyday lives. He wants to sleep with me, I want to sleep with him. Now he knows I'll need occasional reassurance to help get over some of my baggage. Hopefully things continue to progress, because I think he's really good for me. Plus, he's beeping hot. The end of our conversation went something like this. Him, how do you feel about yourself? Me, I mean, I think I'm pretty great, but... Him, there you go. You're great. Don't listen to society. Do whatever floats your boat. If you wanna beat that hottie, you dust off your best BAMF outfit and strut your stuff straight into their pants.